Saigo everyone, Chief Sherry Lynn Hill here. Nyawa, thank you for tuning in to the weekly Chief and Council radio show. My update starts with Ontario legislative changes. The Office of the Premier has released a public list of Ontario legislation, regulation, and or fee changes listed by the responsible ministry, which took place January 1st, 2026. While the full list is available online, here are some key items of interest. Ministry of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development. New labour, mobility, and free trade regulations aimed at breaking down barriers for workers and businesses. Ministry of Health. Amendments to streamline physician credentialing through a new provincial class. Changes to allow individuals with digital health identifier to access select provincial health records and expand scope of practice for midwives, including Indigenous midwives. Ministry of Transportation. Amendments to the Highway Traffic Act addressing reckless and dangerous driving and granting police authority to search and seize devices intended to be used for vehicle theft. Ministry of Energy and Mines. Amendments under the Ontario Energy Board Act allowing Ontario Power Generation to enter equity partnerships with Indigenous communities at the Darling New Nuclear Project and to recover certain construction phase financing costs. On January 6th, a follow-up meeting was held with the Vice President and Matt Jamieson from Six Nations of the Grand River Economic Development Corporation. Discussion focused on access to capital for Indigenous participation in energy projects, challenges associated with unwilling host communities, and aspects of the Ontario IESO process that do not incentivize or require First Nations partnerships. Electricity Canada indicated an interest in continued dialogue and information sharing. Six Nations of the Grand River Economic Development Corporation will continue to communicate with Electricity Canada. On December 1st, the JTBA governance table, which consists of First Nation leadership and representatives from Crown Indigenous Relations and Northern Affairs Canada, Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, and Canada Border Services Agency, met for the first time in nearly a year following the federal election. Ministers reaffirming commitments to addressing cross-border mobility issues. Updates were provided by technical tables addressing safety, border experiences, documentation, goods, and rights of entry. The need for improved data sharing and coordination across tables was identified. Public Safety Canada provided an update on Bill C-12, Strengthening Canada's Immigration System and Border Act, then at third reading. The Ontario Regional Chief advised that the plans are underway to reconvene the JTBA High Table in January 2026. On December 1st, the leadership of participating Iroquois caucus communities continued to meet to address and advance mutual issues of concern. The agenda items for the November 2025 meeting included status updates on hiring the new coordinator. The position has been vacant since July. Renewing a protocol agreement between Iroquois Caucus and the Assembly of First Nations. Restructuring of the Iroquois Caucus and financial contributions to support increasing advocacy work and nation-to-nation commerce. On December 11th, I met with the President, First Vice President, and Chief Executive Officer of the Brantford Brant Chamber of Commerce, following leadership transitions within the organization. During the meeting, the Chamber expressed support for the Six Nations Transportation Plan and indicated interest in participating as a member of the project team for Six Nations Ontario Transit Investment Fund application. The Chambers also provided a contact for reporting incidents where Six Nations status cards are not recognized by Brantford Brant businesses. If there are businesses in Brantford or Brant denying your status card, please call the Chief's office at 519-445-2201. We also requested feedback on their land acknowledgement and related resources for members. And Nyawa to all of you for tuning in and listening to the Chief and Council radio show. Until our next episode, take care, be safe, be well, and be kind. Have a great week.